Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot, second edition, I believe. Yep. By Kathy McLeland. I hope I say her name correctly, but there's her email address, so if you like her, get some of her stuff. I think she'll appreciate that more than me saying her name correctly, but I hope I am saying it right. McLeland? I'm sure some of you will tell me in the bottom. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish. There is a website, if I can get it up here, hayhouse.com. It's a 2002 deck, I think. I know it says it somewhere. But there might be something there. Who knows? Feel free. If you feel the need to check it out, check it out. Enjoy yourself. All right, what do we have for Cancer? Oh, okay, this is exciting. Exciting and new. What is that from? Love Boat? Is that Love? Oh wow! Oh wow! That's a while ago. Wow. I'm gonna say that a lot of you people are gonna have no idea what I mean by the Love Boat, but if you do, let me know below. Wow, I was very young when I used to watch that, like very young. What do we have for Cancer? We got to go into the next phase. You're very bonded with whoever's doing whatever they're doing. Somebody's making a big change. It's scary. Somebody else is freaked right out. They got to break through a block. They're working on getting through this block. I just did what was it? Pisces. It's similar. Suspicious. Just a little bit suspicious. So it's that similar, but okay. Somebody's got to break through a block. Well, yours is definitely different. They are breaking through it, and then they have to go into the cycle of breaking through it. It's kind of like, jumping into the game, and they have to get through the game to get to the other side of it to find out how it shook out. I don't know, they have to play the hand. It's kind of like getting into the game so you can find out what you're going to make of it so you can get to the other side. Like they have to get into it. Okay, you got the Three of Cups on your side, so you're going to be okay whatever's going on here. There's definitely stress for you, but like why is my question. Somebody has to get into the game. Once they're in, ironically, I think it gets a lot better. Maybe. There's a lot of healing. So, creativity with the Four of Swords. I gotta be honest, it's gonna get better. It may not look like it. It may be very, very harsh, but this might be one of those things where, you gotta rip off the Band-Aid before you can clean the sore. Oh my god, this is what I'm getting from this. To me, it's very nauseating. It's like having a bad sore and you have a Band-Aid on it, then you have to rip off the Band-Aid, and part of the scab comes with it, and then you gotta clean it all out, which is horrible. You gotta dress it up again, and then every day you gotta do that. It's horrible to go through, it's painful to go through, it's not fun, but you get to at a certain point, it does start to feel better, and long term, it's for the best. But I feel like that analogy, while it is gross, I give you that, it's purposeful. It's very purposeful, because I feel like it's even horrible to watch. But I also feel like you're in a standpoint where you're like, yeah, I know. It's almost like, it looks rough, but it's how it's done. Kind of like that. Once they start, you can't just do halfway and then take a break. You have to go all the way to the end. So it's almost like a bobsled race. That's the game. You have to get into the bobsled race, and once you're in it, though, you're on it till the end. That's how it's gonna go, bud. And they are. You're watching this part. They have to get up a lot of courage, literally courage. That's the word I'm getting, and that's the Three of Wands with it. They have to take this step forward. They have to move forward, literally move forward, and it takes a lot of courage. I feel like they realize it's going to be some work. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. and they're very nervous, and they're very like whatever this is part of this, like in that same analogy of this, the dressings and the sore. It's kind of like I wish it didn't exist like this, but it does. It's kind of like, well, I wish I didn't have that problem, but I made some choices. This is where I ended up. So now I got to go forward, and here we go. The Three of Swords with the Knight of Cups is kind of like the reason they're moving forward is for better days, and they're just kind of they have to pull it together and realize this in the long run it will be better. This does benefit you directly later. I almost feel like this is I feel like what they're saying is they're giving. It's not like they're literally giving permission, but almost like giving you the okay to stay out of it. Because it's almost like part of you feels like I don't want to just leave people in the lurch. Like, people are there for me, I want to be there for them. But I'm getting at this point less is more. Maybe people need to work out the ins and outs on their own, and then you can come in later and help, the finishing touches. They're saying for now to like stay off to yourself. You know a lot about the history, and you might be involved in this or very invested in a few different ways, and it may be very conflicting and difficult for you to really help in this situation. It's almost like if there's a couple, for example, and they're getting a divorce, and you're very invested with both sides emotionally, and it's kind of like, I really don't want to lose either of them, and I'm starting to wonder if I have to lose one or the other. And I'm partially also worried that in this process I might lose both of them as friends. So it's kind of like I'd like to keep both of them as friends. The way it's looking, I might lose one or the other, and if I'm not careful, I could lose both as friends. And I'm nervous about it a little bit. But they're saying just some distance for now is okay. I feel like this energy is very busy, especially with that Three of Wands. There's a lot happening once it starts. There's a whole cycle that has to go through. There's a whole cycle that has to go from beginning to end. It's the Eight of Pentacles, but I feel like we have to get through the whole cycle, and they're literally starting it. I know this is the 8, but I really feel like they're starting it. Once they start it, they feel like this is saying they have to go through the whole cycle. They just got to go through the whole cycle. I don't say about that. They're saying it's okay for you to take a time out from it. The Eight of Cups with health is coming in. I don't see you abandoning anybody. I don't feel like that makes sense. I feel like what I'm saying is like more like taking a back seat. Maybe, I don't know how this is going to sound, but like keeping in contact with people, but like at times where you think like you can get a couple words in, but they're going to be busy going into something else, like maybe, before they go into work, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes before they go into work, you'll send them a text. How you doing? Okay, great. Oh, you got to go to work? Okay, I understand. Like, I feel like you might have to do that just so that you're keeping in touch and contact, but they don't have a lot of time to tell you what's going on. Maybe before an event or something, like before they go into some event. Any event. I don't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. Wedding. I don't know why that would happen. But just, I feel like you have to strategically kind of like, I'll send you a message now so you know I care, but I'm also going to make it so you don't have a lot of time to tell me what's going on. Just for the best. For the best for both of us. Because I'm getting like you have to be a little strategic and kind of like stay connected but on the outside. Kind of like, like almost like offering like, oh, do you need some of this or that? I have some extra this. I was wondering if you needed any. That might be kind of how you put it out there too. Kind of like, oh, we have some extra tomatoes from the garden just for argument's sake. And I was wondering if you would just like some. And you just kind of like, that's how you're putting it out there that you care. But you're being careful not to ask too many questions about a certain subject. Which might get a little dicey at times, but I feel like they're saying it's okay for you to hold back. I also feel like the other side may not be very open to talking about it anyway. So if you don't directly bring it up, they might not either. And if they don't, just roll with it. Just roll with it. Don't feel obligated to start that conversation. If they want to, let them, and then try to stay on the outskirts of it if you can. You know what I mean? Just be careful with it. Because I feel like it's very stressful for you to maneuver through this, but they're saying you can make it through this and keep everything you started with. Whatever's going on here, a whole phase shift is happening, but you shouldn't have to lose anything. whatever that means. And you should be able to keep positive connections with everybody involved. It's just going to take a little bit of maneuvering. I see, like, I'm getting the same analogy. It doesn't mean it's somebody breaking up, so take it as it comes. However it fits for you. It could be a work situation where people aren't getting along and you're like, I don't really want to take sides with anybody, and I want to stay in a positive connection later with both sides. You do have the ability to successfully maneuver this and just stay on the outskirts, and it still is very solid both ways. Once the energy settles, when it settles, I don't see anybody saying, well, you shouldn't be friends with that one anymore, or the other one saying you shouldn't be friends. I feel like they're like, it's a non-issue. I also feel like there's certain rules, like, you know, maybe one side pretends the other side doesn't exist or something like that, or just pretends like they never knew anything, or pretends like nothing happened but doesn't talk about the other person. Something weird like that. Kind of like, oh, yeah, so-and-so, I know them. And they just move on. They act like, they don't pretend, like, they don't even acknowledge any type of history with that person. They just like, oh, they're a person, so what? Whoever you're dealing with, I feel like it's more than one person. I feel like both sides are going to be very bonded to you. Both sides don't really want to lose you either, and they don't want to force you to make any type of decision. They don't think that's fair. They seem to be okay with that. I feel, have I done a reading like this recently? It feels very familiar. Maybe I'm just having deja vu. I don't know. Because it feels like we've gone through this before, where it's kind of like it's okay for you to hold back and not get over-involved. Everything will work out fine, but it's kind of like I almost feel guilty by doing that. They're saying it's all right, this is going to work out. It's going to take some maneuvering, but you should end up on the up and up at the end. Everybody should be happy with you. It's just stressful to get through it, but on the other side, we all should be cool again. You shouldn't be caught in the middle, and you shouldn't be, you know, penalized for anything. You didn't do anything. Like, nothing is your fault, so you shouldn't be penalized for something when you didn't do anything. You know? So I feel like by doing it this way, you're not. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.